Hello, my name's Heather, and I'm going to show you how I made this model in Gravity Sketch.
In this video, I will be increasing the size of the webbing on the heel. I will be adding laces and putting more detail into the eyelets. I was thinking about this webbing, and I love how webbing can be just really functional. It's very soft. The edges are already finished. So I love the idea of just really highlighting this feature of the shoe and making it ginormous. So I am making this webbing very wide. And my intention is in Blender to give it a pretty good texture too and really accentuate that. So for this section of the video, I just make, I adjust that, make it wider how I like it. I also try to make the webbing look as soft as possible. So when it is rendered, it looks like it feels soft. Okay, now to add laces. First, I sort of map out, I make little smudge marks where I would like my laces to go. I could make an object, a cube or a sphere or whatever to mark these spots, but I like using this little stroke smear or whatever to do this because it uses less points and takes up less memory, or less processing. So I just sort of put them there, put those little red dots there as targets. And I spend a little time adjusting them because you'll see how I do the laces. It's really nice to have something very visible to aim for while you're drawing. And this is the greatest part, is using the stroke tool to make laces, because in the olden times when we did our control drawings and our development packages for sneakers and shoes, and it was all by hand, this was before the Illustrator days, laces were by far the most dreaded part of the shoe to sort of deal with, because you knew the shoe most of the time had to have laces on it. But when you're drawing and rendering your cool shiny shoes, laces sometimes really got in the way. So one awesome thing about Gravity Sketch, there are so many, is that laces are so easy to add. So I'll draw them in, and as I'm happy with their position, I'll just sort of get rid of those smudges because there's no need to keep them. And if you're smart and you think ahead, you'll put them on a different layer. And now I will add the vamp webbing. I will go ahead and create a cuboid, and I'm going to do it in red. I know I did my smudges in red, but eventually I'm just going to get rid of those and use that red as the color for the forefoot webbing. So I'll start with the cuboid. I will then put it into subdivision mode, and like most of the other objects in this model, I will make this from a cuboid. So I'll grab it and I'll reposition it a little bit, but I'll grab the end face and I will start copying that. And you'll see that front leading edge starts to pull out. So as I copy and paste, the width of the webbing is, the width of those points, but you'll see on those ends it's a little rounded. So the crease tool will definitely come in handy because it helps me create those tight corners. You can do that also by adding loops, but the crease tool, again, it's a big memory saver. In this case, I will mirror this object and then bake it. So they're now two separate pieces of webbing, and I can place the second piece of webbing where I would like it. Okay, and then I will I've decided to add a little bit more eyelet specific molding as per each of these lace pieces. So I'm going to go in, I am adding a couple loops here, and then I'm actually deleting a couple faces because these are where I'm going to build bridges between there. See, I build a bridge there, connect them, and I'm going to speed up this part because I go all around the shoe and I add these anywhere the laces pass through the eye row. And I will keep doing this. I have to keep recreasing, but also, like, as I continue on and I finish up the eye row and the molding details, I will use an extreme beveled edge, and I will use the angles and bevels as a detail in this model. And I can really refine the three-dimensional details and angles of all of these faces. Thank you for watching. The next video will be the final upper detailing video, after which we will be moving on and completing the bottom for this model. Stay tuned.